The Victorian native timber industry is still currently at a standstill due to court injunctions held against Vic Forest. Now, because they can't supply wood to the Australian paper mill, we're no longer creating white copy paper. But they're not the only mill that's suffering. The Radial timber mill in Yarram, Victoria is the only commercial radial timber mill in the world, and I was lucky enough to be invited there to see how the mill works in action and to see what products they make out of Victorian native timber. The process starts with the timber being brought to the Radial sawmill. This log yard is quite empty for this time of year. The front end loader then grabs the selected logs and brings them over to the log haul. The log haul takes the timber from the outside log yard and brings it to the inside of the shed where the rail saw is. This machine clamps the log and centres it with the saw. It then scans the length and diameter. The saw is then plunged into the log and cuts to the core of the log. After the first cut, it rotates the log 45 degrees and repeats this process. This creates 8 wedges, not wasting any timber. Even the sawdust from this process is captured and used at chicken farms. These wedges are then transferred to this dual spindle horizontal multi-edger where the wedges are cut into multiple sections. They are then transferred by conveyor belt to be sorted into their products. Each section is then stacked in their product assortment and stored outside to be seasoned for 7 to 12 months to get a fibre saturation of 20 to 25%. Once this saturation is achieved, the sections are transferred to these solar gas assisted kilns for 7 to 14 days depending on the size. Once the sections are dried to their correct saturation, they are processed with this profile moulder. This is the profile moulder creating a batch of floorboards. The finished product is then stacked and wrapped up, ready to be sold out of their distribution centre out of Dandenong, Victoria.